Hello, this is a lapbook that I have just finished. It's a homage to William Morris. I've made it using in a tutorial by Tinson of the Crafty Emporium, and I'm also entering it into a YouTube competition that she's running to celebrate 10,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel. So here's a flip through. As you can see, homage to William Morris on the front cover, and this is all decorated with flowers and metal embellishments, which the leaves are from one of his designs, one of his wallpaper designs. Oh, mentioning wallpaper, believe it or not, this whole book was made from 5 file folders and some gift wrap paper, a book of gift wrap paper. Well, the crux of it was, there's embellishments and a few other bits and bobs in there. Anyhow, right, so these are from one of the sheets of wrapping paper, the leaves and the different embellishments. The front panel is a tuck spot, and this tag is lots of information on William Morris, you know, sort of the life and times of the man. On the side seam, on the side spine, we've got William Morris on that side, and on this side I have made a dangle in the lovely lemon colours to match the front, and on the back I have some encrusted lace and cheesecloth and embellishments with a metal decal in the middle there. So let's get on to opening this book. I'll just move my back down. It's a figure of 8 2-button closure, lots of fringing on the edge, and this is page 1, and page 1 celebrates the William Morris furniture. I'll just take those out. As you can see, we have a chair. This is a Sussex style chair circa 1880, and I've made the top of the chair a spot for a large tag, the bottom of the chair there near the seat for a medium, and a little journal card can go in behind. Throughout this lapbook you'll see this type of picture. These are quotes, and this is probably the one that Morris is most famous for. Have nothing in your house you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful. Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? Right, so if we turn this, now I'm just going to check, yeah, if I just turn that, this is the first flap of the book, and on this flap I have added children's chairs that Morris designed, and as before I have made little tags and embellished them up, coffee dyed paper on the back, just to fit into the chair, as so. You know, just make a little doodle on the back, or you know, something that makes you happy, and stick it in the slot. I do love this little one. So these are his children's chairs, so I've just decorated that. And in the middle, this is a pocket, and on this pocket, in this pocket I have a zine, also Carol Tinson inspired from one of her tutorials, covered in the Morris wrapping paper, Morris design. I shall turn us back for the next one. Over the page I am celebrating Morris's work with stained glass, and here what I've done is I've made some glassine pockets, little pockets, and I've actually cut the panes out of the glass and turned those into little journal cards, little journal tags. And on this page we've got the full window. This is in Malmesbury Abbey, this window. We've got faith, devotion and courage, and I've added these to a brand that's got a little loop so I could embellish it, and on the back I've got writing paper, so that's a nice little secret spot there. And on this window, another glassine bag pocket embellished with lace, and a little card of William. This says, "Nothing useless can be truly beautiful." yeah, on the back of the windows over the page I have added a medium tag. I've added a medium tag to both windows, just the same. And the full window has a tuck spot, lace edged, and under there I have got a journaling card with a painting of William Morris and some copy dyed paper. And what I've done with the paper is just embellish it in this design, just to coordinate the page up nicely. And on this one, another window with an extra long tag with a pencil drawing. I like this one. And another copy dyed paper. The quote on this page, one of the quotes on this page really makes you think. Count on, rest not, for hope is dead. Now that's quite an interesting one, isn't it? Anyhow, this one leads us into a long journaling space, long journaling booklet, a booklet. Copy dyed papers. I sewed them down the middle and attached them to the spine. So this doesn't remove this one. This then leads us on to, I'll just move across slightly because I'm going to go that way. This then leads us on to what looks like another secret compartment. So we'll open this one up first, and then we'll open this one up, and we have the family album. And on the family album we have his wife, Jane Morris, his mother, Emma Morris, nee Shelton, and his two daughters. This is Mary May, and she was known as May, and this is Jane Alice, and she was known as Jenny. Yep, Jenny. We have a William here and the extended family. I'll go back to his mother, and what I've done is I have put a tag in the top of this embellishment, this element, just with William, and another words and quotes about William, and I've tied this with a bow. When you open this up, I'll get that slightly further this way. When you open this up, it's actually altered envelopes, and they open up to reveal, each one is the same, so I'll only get the one out, journaling cards. You could of course put anything in your envelopes you wished, and a couple more of his sayings. So we'll just fold that up and I'll pop the bow in. This is one of my favourite elements. It was one of the first elements I ever made when I started journaling, and again it's a Crafty Emporium tutorial from, I believe, the 30-day challenge videos, which are absolutely superb. It was the first ones that I did when I really got into it, and I was just hooked after that. So moving on from William's wife to his mother, Emma, this was the lady here, and she was quite disappointed that William became an architect. Under this element I have a letter, part of a letter that William wrote to his mother telling her that he was going to be an architect, and she replied to this letter with, after leaving Oxford University, this is what happened rather than what she replied with. After leaving Oxford University, Morris first planned to train as an architect. It's clear from this letter that his mother reacted badly to the news. She had paid for an extensive education, hoping he would have a great future in the church, but he was determined to go his own way. So she was very disappointed that William became an architect. This element with his mum on is closed with a tiny little clip, and it's actually just a little trifold, 3 pockets, 3 little journal cards, and it can actually take quite a lot more than that. I'll close it with a clip. I've just remembered something I didn't point out. On the back of the chairs on this page, on a tiny little clip, I put copy dyed papers as well, which I thought were quite cute. Right, back to this page. So yeah, we've gone through his mother's disappointment of him being an architect and not a vicar. And we move on to his daughters. Now his wife and his two daughters were all very, very talented. His wife was a model. She was also an embroiderer, as were both of his daughters, and they all worked for Morris & Co. at one point or another. On this section, I have got a picture of the young William, pre-beard. And inside of this is a cut down version of a zine. And I have put writing space in there. And on the extended family, that's exactly the same. But it's more of a decorative paper in this one, with the little fringing. And I'll just move over just a touch more and make sure we're still going. Oh, I get so panicky when I make videos. Right, on this page I have made a box, and in the box I have popped in a journal that I've covered and created, and on the back I have the Morris hair, another quote, and what I've done here is I've used a traveller's notebook clip, to attach my pen. And what I did with this is just a regular biro, and I decoupaged it to match the book. I would quite like to buy myself a really fancy pen in the William Morris patterns, but I haven't got one at the minute, so that's in there. So what we do from here is we're going to go this way. Continuing on from the family gallery, we have a couple of self-portraits that William drew of himself pre-beard as a young man. And yeah, he looks quite unusual. I'm not sure he kept any, he was that great at portraits, to be honest, but never mind. This page lifts up, and under here you can put notepad in, you could just put papers in, you can, I don't know if I've got that in shot. You can journal all the way up the back because I have stenciled it and made it quite pretty. But you could slip just about anything into that one. So we will go over the page again. And on this page, I'm paying homage to Morris's houses and homes. This side, I have got Kelmscott House and the Red House. On this page I have got the William Morris Gallery. This is actually where he grew up. I'm sure I put the date on there. Did I put the date inside? Oh well. So this embellishment is a post-it note holder, and from 1834 to 1896 this is the house in Walthamstow, in, oh gosh, yeah, Walthamstow. Oh, I can't remember. Right, and this is the house that he grew up in. Kelmscott House was his summer retreat. This one is in Hammersmith. And this is the Red House. Now, the Red House I have here on this tuck, and these are the architectural plans for it. On the architectural plans one, I've got a tuck at the top. I've got a flip here with some writing space on the back. I've got a tuck here with some coffee dyed paper inside, just folded up into an envelope shape. I've actually used quite thin paper for this so that it feels like the old type of architectural drawings. But it's lovely to see, you can see the drawing for this, and then you can see it transposed into the house. It's, yeah, you can just see, I think this is this tower here, quite good. So this is just a tuck spot with a couple of cards in, but the tuck spot is actually attached to some drawing paper. So if I'm using this and I want some nice drawing paper, I can just get that out. I've got a belly band under there, decorated with brads, just to hold my drawing paper in place. And these two, these are in the style of a greetings cardy type thing, and both have a little tuck spot with lace, so you can just pop anything you wanted into there. I didn't fill all the spaces. There's plenty of room for this to expand. So what we do next is we go backwards. We go this way, and we go to the center, the secret center. Now in here, I think you will see, I'm pretty sure you can see, I've got a clasp here, the same as a belt, which I created with a brass embellishment, and I made my own little belt to go through to hold these closed. When we open this one up, it opens up twice. And on on this page, I'm celebrating printing. Morris is printing onto fabrics and wallpapers. This is actually textile printing in this one. And this pocket has inside of it a wooden block which would have been used in the printing process. Down here we have Kelmscott, because Kelmscott print was the name that he used with a lot of his books and different things that he did. Over here I have attached, I'll just take that card out. That's a little journal card of his mum. I have attached full glassine bag, so you can pop things just into the front, or you can pop them all the way, and they'll be quite hidden down there really. So there's two of those, just trimmed up with the same trims I've got throughout the book, just to pull it together a bit. I do like this gentleman here, I don't know if you can see, but he's wearing a bowler hat. He's printing away there on with his blocks, etc., and he's got a bowler hat on. I do think that's great. Moving to the center one, I'm celebrating his textiles and embroideries, which is why on this page I wanted it to flow from the family album, because the two daughters did a lot of the embroideries. There are two pockets, and in the two pockets I have in each of them 3 postcards that I picked up on a visit to the Morris Gallery. Not sure if it was last year or the year before. My daughter and I went, and we had an absolutely lovely day. It was glorious weather as well. In the back here, this is quite a big pocket, so you could put quite a lot in there. I've just popped in 2 glassine bags, which I have just decorated with, that's the block for printing, and a quote. And this is some of the typeface that the Kelmscott print would use. This is Chaucer type, this is Troy type, this is Golden type. Notice little things that I really quite like. So I decoupaged the glassine bags in Morris print from one of his wallpaper designs, I think, if I'm not much mistaken. And yeah, so that's the textile and paper printing there. So we shall just close that up. There are a couple of elements of Morris's life missing from this, but there was only so many I could add. So we don't have any ironwork, and we don't have any ceramics in here, but I'm sure I'll add to the journal different bits as and when I find them, because even though I want to use this for my own purposes, I do want to keep it in the same theme. So yeah, we've got that one. That one closes in. This one comes over. This one comes over here. This just lifts back over here. And this closes just with a figure of 8. And then we turn it over. And last but not least is the back pocket. In here, all I've done, I've trimmed it up in the gold to match this amazing gold print. I have attached velcros, and I did intend to vintage up, and I did a little bit on there, but I did intend to make these darker. I'll get them to fade into the paper more. And in the pocket, I have got an extremely large journaling card, which is the first, oh, this is the style of the first, oh, did I write? Oh yeah, adjustable back chair. So the first recliner, and that was 1886. Another set of postcards with all his textiles and wallpapers on. No, sorry, with wallpapers on. Textiles are in the book. And I added the Nature of Gothic print on the front to another one of my nice quality notebooks, so that if I want to do sketch or doodle, I can. And that just closes as so. Just a little bit of fringing. And that is my homage to William Morris Lapbook style. I do hope you've enjoyed this flip through, and I do hope I've inspired maybe someone to have a go. I will put all the links below so you can find the tutorial, and I will link to the papers as well. I'll put a note down saying where I got the papers from as well. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed that. Bye.